Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karamavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Parthaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Vradavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusantatami Bhagavad Geeta Bhavatveshini Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divvaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadghatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidussura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha. Verse number 22. Idruchalabhasantushtaha dvandvatito vimatsaraha Samasiddhavasiddhau cha krutvapi na nibadhyate gata sangasya muktasya jnanavastita chetasaha yajñaya charata karma samagram praviliyate. Here in this 23rd verse, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is introducing us to a new word called yajna. Yajna, many of us know, and as Gurudev writes, even Arjuna was familiar with the word yajna, which usually means a ritual, a sacrifice. Whenever there is a particular deity to be invoked in the traditional Vedic lore, it is that you invoke the fire, who represents the higher nature of divine sun, the Surya, who is said to be the doorway to the heavens, because it is said that through the Surya Marga alone an individual goes to the higher worlds. And that is the reason why Uttarayan is considered to be the most auspicious duration in a whole year. So therefore, the fire, which represents the divine presence, in whom the deities are invoked. And when you offer to that fire, you are actually offering to this great gods whom you want to invoke or have invoked. So yajna is offering into the fire, in essence. And the word yajna, which was thus understood that way by Arjuna, here Krishna is using the same term for a totally different purpose. Yajñaya acharataha karma samagram praviliyate. The real meaning of this statement is an individual who performs an action with an attitude of yajna, to him all the actions will thereafter will not be effective. Arjuna is a little shocked to understand why is he talking about yajna while I am in the battlefield. I am ready to fight the war, and where is the time for me to call the Purohits and start a yajna in front of me? So therefore yajna, that word is interpreted effectively by Krishna and Gurudev writes so beautifully in his commentary here, it is often unavoidable for a great leader to reinterpret certain phrases and words for the sake of a better understanding for the present generation. Now, when we talk about computer, some 25 years back, we were computing. Now, what are we computing with the computer? Are we computing anything? You're watching movies. We are sending emails. We are having conversations. We are having video conferencing. Except computing, we do everything else. And what do we call that as? Computer. Is it a computer anymore? How many of you do computing every day in your personal computer? PC. Does it give any peace to you? It is pieces. So therefore, computer, which we call it as before, some years back, is no more only used for computing. It is for different purposes. Except computing, we do all other things. Hardly anybody uses it for that purpose. Phone. iPhone. What is it for now? How many of you only use it for phone? Selfie. Facebook. Conversing. Watching movies. Is it not therefore phone is no more phone? Just not phone, but so many other things. So it is unavoidable that a particular concept is expanded to accommodate many other possibilities. In the same way, yajna, the word, is taken up by Sri Krishna to include so many other possibilities without compromising the purpose for which it is done. That should not be lost. So, yajna, the idea is sacrifice. Keeping that idea clearly in mind, what are the other possibilities? So, sacrifice in what nature? Is it only meant for opening a fire and then offering it, or any kind of offering where you don't anymore seek anything in return? When you offer into the fire, nothing comes out of it. Only the ashes will be there. Good or bad, whatever you offer, nothing remains. In the same way, if an individual engages in an action without expecting anything in return, only to offer for a greater benefit, then it is called yajna. So Krishna has reinterpreted and gave a new meaning, new dimension to that very idea, that any action performed for a greater benefit, that's why it is said, a cooperative endeavor. A collection of people who come together, engage in an action which is meant for a greater purpose and for a larger set of people to benefit from, that action is considered yajna. That's why Gurudev had started this idea of Gita Jnana Yajna. It was a new term that he brought into this world, and it has caught up like a fire when he was alive and even now. Jnanam, knowledge offered for the benefit of everybody to hear, listen and practice. And therefore his talks were known as Gita Jnana Yajna. And many people, when they do not know about this meaning of it, come to ask me, Swamiji, you said that Swami Tejavanandi is going to conduct a yajna. Where? How many priests are going to be called for? No priests are there. Only one person is doing to do for 7 days. Hare Baba. He is not any kind of sacrifice with the fire. He is going to talk like a fire. He is going to give a knowledge in which our ignorance will be burnt. So, therefore, here, any action performed with an attitude of sacrifice, yajnaya, for the sake of sacrifice, acharataha, conducted, karma, action, samagram, praviliyade, completely gets attenuated, eliminated, because an individual who has thus burned the idea of aham karta, ahankar, to such an individual, no action will bind, no result of action will bind. That's why he said, Gata Sangasya Muktasya. And how does he do? Jnana Avastita Chetasaha. With the mind abiding in the right knowledge, then only that is possible for a person to do the action of this kind. Earlier and later on also in 18th chapter he will say Mukta Sango Anaham Vadi. Mukta Sangaha Anaham Vadi. In a person who is devoid of all the sangas, attachment, Anaham Vadi. Without any idea of I am the doer. Siddha Siddhyo Nirvikaraha. Siddhi Asiddhi, in joy and in the success and failure, Anaham Nirvikaraha. Mind is not oscillated. Satya Karta is Satvika. Satya Karta is a Satvik Karta. Anyway, here, therefore, he says, if an individual is able to perform his action with that kind of mind and that kind of an attitude, and he does that, all his actions will come to an end. So, because, why he is saying this is at this point, none of us know what we have done. None of us know what is going to happen because of what we have done. None of us know what we are yet to do. None of us know what will be the result of what we are going to do. That's why karma is so deep. Gahano karmano gadihi. The nature of karma is gahana, which is very difficult, inscrutable it is. So, what we have done in the past, we have no clue. And what is going to happen because of what we have done, no clue. Only when it comes to you. At least what we can do right now can be decided by us. That is where the Purushartha lies. That is where our human will is. That's where our free will lies. What we can do right now can be decided. What we have done in the past, we cannot touch it. Yesterday, you cannot go back and do anything. Even if you have done the worst thing yesterday, no chance of going back and correct it. So instead of sitting and crying about what we have done in the past, let us get up and start working on what we can do right now better. That is where the human will is. Not lying down there crying and lamenting about what is done past. Past is past, gone. And what is present now is the only thing that we can do anything about. Future is only an idea, a concept. Present alone is the reality. And therefore, let us do something which is in the present moment, which is most fruitful, positive, which will make us come out of our own inner negativities and inhibitions and imperfections. Therefore, here Krishna says, this idea of sacrifice, when you understand not as a ritual, but spiritual, and a concept you take and use it in your own life, then you will see the effect of it. In the next few verses, he is going to give 12 different ways of doing sacrifice. The next verse is the beautiful point of what this means. And then following that, he will give 12 different ways to conduct a sacrifice. Again, as I said, sacrifice, original meaning is invoking a fire and offering into that. That of course is also included, but that alone is not there. Now in the next verse, what he is going to talk about is what will be the highest form of sacrifice. Start from the topmost and then go on talking about all other possibilities, and to show that this is the final result you need to achieve. So the next verse is therefore considered by our Gurudev as one thing we should remember every day, because that is the goal. That is the goal. So unless we are reminded about our own goal often, we get used to our usual, habitual ways of living. To realign ourselves, to focus our own goal on our goal, we need to remind ourselves again and again. And therefore he said, this verse should be chanted twice a day at least by you. And how do you make sure that you at least remember twice a day? Just before eating. You eat twice a day anyway for sure. Minimum. I'm not talking about minimum 2 times you eat. Now, not cookies and other things, I'm not talking about that. In between you go on eating. If you do that every time, it will be wonderful. Take a cookie. Brahmarpanam Brahma. Anyway, so at least twice a day. You must remember this. Now you see here, verse number 24. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina. This is a famous verse, at least in Chinmaya Mission, where it is a tradition to chant this not just as a prayer but as a reminder. Prayer can be a statement of gratitude towards God for what He or she has given. Prayer can be an asking, a request. Prayer can be a grateful remembrance or a loving remembrance. And here the prayer is reminder to ourselves. First we will see the meaning. Brahma Arpanam, the ladle is Brahman. Brahma Havihi, the offering like a havis is Brahman. Brahma Agnau, in the fire of Brahman. Brahmana Hutam, by a Brahman being offered. Brahmaiva, to that Brahman alone. Tena Gantavyam, he needs to reach. Who? Brahma Karma Samadhina, who has the focus on Brahma. Sarvam Brahmamayam, all in one. Now, earlier you had a radio, a tape recorder and everything. Now after some time they all came out as all in one. Radio, tape recorder. Now you have carrying it. All in one. Even where your wife cannot go, into the restroom also you carry that fellow, the phone. Why? You cannot live without it. Somebody may call, emergency. When you are in the restroom, somebody may call for emergency. You cannot live without it. So how much we are so attached to that fellow in your little fellow in your hand. In the same way, here a person who is having iPhone karma samadhina, Brahma karma samadhina. Mind is ever focused upon Brahman. Brahman, the ultimate reality. Here, let me clarify this word, Brahman, what it really means. Brih in Sanskrit means Brihatvat, that which is the big, which includes everything. That's why GM came with a huge truck called Brahma. Huge. Brihatvat. So, Brihatvat, what it means is that which doesn't have anything outside it. Everything is included in that. So what religion calls it as God, in most religion, God is a creator. A creator of the universe, one who maintains this universe, determines your result of your action in the form of whether you are forced to go to heaven or hell based upon what you have done, how much you prayed. So God is considered as a judge. And Hinduism, especially Vedanta, says that is not right. Who is the judge for your action? Your own action is the judge, not God. A law decides what is right and wrong. No doubt a law can remain only then there is a person who maintains that law. Whether the current will give me a shock or not, who decides? Me? You? Can anybody say this current should not give me a shock? Can anyone? All of us decide. The whole world decides. This should not give us shock. All of us decide. And all of us put our hand there. It is a law that works. So it is not somebody's decision. Karma is like that. It is a law, it works. So therefore, the idea of God as a judge is not fully accepted here. He has created the law, which is eternal, applicable to all. So in the creative world, the world that is created, which is decided by certain laws, we are all living. Now that is the idea of God, Ishvara. The Vedanta goes one step further and says that this world itself, as we see it now, created world, cannot be somebody's idea. It's not somebody's idea of creating this world. Okay, let us have a world. It's that somebody thought about it and just created it. It is an expression of the one thing itself. It is an expression of that one which is expressing itself as this whole universe. Just like my own dream is not somebody's idea. My own dream is none other than me, myself. There is nobody else is there. None of you can participate in my dream. Why? Because it's me alone. So in the same way, the idea is the whole universe is nothing but one expression of Lord Himself. So that one which expresses as the whole universe is Brahman. When we see Him as the creator of this world, He is referred as Ishvara. But who is He in His original nature? Without an expression of this universe, He is. Or she is. Therefore, it is a neuter form. Not Brahman, it's not male or female. Brahman. That which includes everything. Just like space. You cannot say there is a space after space. What is space? Space, very nature of space means sarvasya avakasham dadadi iti akasha. For everything it gives an accommodation. That which accommodates everything, that is called akash. So space is that which gives space for everything. And there cannot be a space outside space. Similarly, Brahman is that which includes everything, expressing as you and me. In you also, the same thing expressed as in me, in everyone, in every living being. Therefore, the highest goal Krishna points out here is an individual recognizes that the one in me is the one in all. Atman, which is a reference to the one in me, is Brahman, the one in all. Now we understand. So they are not two terms, it is two standpoints. So the one in me has no difference between one in me and one in all. But the difference is created by the external upadhis or external equipments through which I am functioning. The equipments being body, mind and intellect, through which I am functioning, I, the Atman, functioning through body, mind, intellect, etc., is having limitations. This limitation in expression does not mean the one which is limited. If you take a lamp, but put inside a pot, don't put a small hole, when the pot is fully covered, completely covered, and one small hole is there, because it has to survive, because the air has to go in. And so the light emanating from that pot will be one single streak of light coming out of that pot. Especially when you put it in a dark room, the light will be coming out of one single hole, and that small light alone is seen. But the lamp has a greater splendor which is now conditioned by a small hole. When you break the pot, how spread is the light? You tell me. Can you determine how much it will spread? Is it really spreading? Is it not before also it is spreading, but contained as though? It is not that it has got a new ability to spread. It is already spreading, but not available for us to see. In the same way, the Atman in us is all-pervading, all right, presently as though conditioned by our equipments called body, mind, and intellect. We have 9 holes. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 tongue, not 2 tongue. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, and 1 tongue, 5. Correct? 5 or 7? 7. I want to check you are computing correct or not. Because you must too much of using your own computer. You never even basic computing is not available. 7. Anus and reproductive organs. 2. Navadwar. Navadwar, therefore 9 holes. Through these 9 holes, this is expressing. So only through that we come to know what it is. When we see, hear, taste, smell, touch, through these 9 holes alone we express ourselves and know its presence. Subtle presence may be known through thoughts and being conscious. But that Atman which is now seen as though limited within ourselves is itself is that which is everywhere. This recognition, realization is Brahma Jnana, Brahma Vidya. The knowledge that will clarify this is called Brahma Vidya, the very subject matter of Upanishads. It is not Brahman, somebody sitting there up above the clouds watching you all the time. It is that which is within you and without. So, a person who gains this knowledge of the highest nature, his attitude in life is everything is a sacrifice. And since everything includes inside that Brahman, within that, therefore, symbolically, in a typical sacrifice where an individual takes a particular ahuti or a offering, and taking a long ladle and taking it in that ladle and offering into the fire. All these actions which is done by an individual with an equipment called the ladle, taking a particular ahuti which is different from it and putting into the fire which is different from oneself and for asking for a particular result which is different. In the case of a person who has gained that highest level of understanding, for him everything is Brahman. The ladle is Brahman, the offering is Brahman, the fire is Brahman, the offerer is Brahman, the offering is Brahman. For whom? The one who is determined to reach Brahman, one who is thinking about it all the time. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam. Is it that an individual is expected to superimpose the idea of Brahman in everything? No. It is not for you to superimpose the idea of Brahman in everything. No. But instead of superimposing means create an idea of Brahman in everything. No. It's not an idea. That's ideal. His mind is therefore thinking only about that, therefore he doesn't see other things and other things. Therefore, one commentator says very clearly here, such a person, as he has gained this vision of Brahman, he doesn't engage in action, but sees everything in the same manner. His action is therefore for others to watch. For him, nothing is happening. Action is only when there is a difference between actor and action. Whereas he who has become one with all that thing as one Brahman, such an action is impossible to come out of him. For example, in the dream where you are seeing yourself as everything, what action you are doing? When, let us say, in the dream when you are being chased by a tiger, you are running. On the bed, are you running? Wife will kick you out and get out of your bed. You are kicking me unnecessarily. A real tiger will be outside. In the dream, when you are dreaming as though you are running, you are not actually running. In the dream, you are fighting with your wife. Let us say. That's the only time you are allowed to. Are you really? So in the mind, therefore, when you are living in that oneness, where you alone are as everything, no action takes place. Though all actions take place. You are part of a very active dream. No action takes place. In the same way, a person who has gained that Brahmic vision of Brahman, even though for the other's perception he is engaging in action, but actually he is not engaged in any action. Because his mind is engaged completely in that oneness. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina. Brahma karma samadhina. Samadhina. His mind is in the state of samadhi. Adhanam is to keep, to place it. Samyak adhanam, samadhanam, placing it very well, never to disturb it. The state of that is called samadhi. There's nothing to do with buddhi. Buddhi is necessary for that, but that's not a state of intellect. Some people mistakenly put dhi as buddhi. No, that's not right. This word is adhanam, adhanam. So, samadhi, a state of being where there is no more oscillations. Because knowledge alone gives you that determined understanding where there is no doubt. When there is doubt, when you are listening to a talk like this, certain things which you have never heard before, you come to get to know. So Shravana gives an idea about something which you have not heard. And when you come to the next stage where you try to understand the real meaning of it and try to know what it is without doubt, that is called mananam. But once the doubts are cleared, then only you can get into that meditation. In meditation, there cannot be any doubt. If there is a doubt, then you have to go back to the mananam stage. So where there is no more oscillation, there is no more doubt. Samshaya rahita jnanam. Where there is no samshaya, there is no doubt. In that state of samadhi, a brahma karma samadhina, Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, he must reach Brahman alone, who sees the ladle as Brahman, the fire as Brahman, the offering as Brahman. This we need to remember as often as possible. That being the goal for a Vedantic student. So that is the reason why it is suggested that you chant this at the beginning of, twice a day at least, before you eat the food. And Gurudev says that even as you eat the food with this prayer, when you are taking that morsel of food in your hand, probably in the spoon, because nowadays we don't want to use the hand. I don't want to use the hand. Why? It is so dirty. That is the very reason you have to use it. At least at that time you clean it. Here and now you put the hand, no, God only knows. At least clean it before once in a while. And when you are eating with the food in your hand, there is a certain amount of energy you are already applying to that food. Otherwise the spoon will become more energized. Spoon you cannot eat. Take the hand full of food. And even if there is no taste in the food, the hand will give more taste to it. At least you can taste your hand at least. Anyway. So, take the hand full of food, and as you are eating, hand is Brahman. The food that is there in my hand is Brahman. The one who is eating is Brahman. What is being eaten is Brahman, for the sake of Brahman. Ahamannam, 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 ahamannado, hamannado, hamannadah. Haggaslogagrada, haggaslogagrada, haggaslogagrada. So it is said in the Taittiriya Upanishad that a person who has reached that stage of oneness with Brahman, he says, what is being eaten is Brahman, and who is the one who is eating is Brahman. Ahamannam, ahamannadaha. I am the food, I am the one who is eating the food. No difference. Do you know, there are so many things in your body. Who is eating you? Millions of germs are sitting in your body, constantly eating you. Without them, you cannot survive. Ask any doctor. There are so many germs that are sitting there, and you are not feeding yourself, you are feeding them only. They are all sitting there waiting for your food. When you eat the food, there are so many of them. Very good. And when you are physically dead, they will start eating you fully. In and out. That's why after a few days, nothing will remain. They have eaten it. Finished. They have completely eaten you, completely gone. So, I am the food, I am the one who is eater of the food also. I am the food means what? I am the food for everything inside me. I am the eater of the food. Anyway, so when you understand that the Brahman is everything, and now presently that may not be our condition. But when we keep this mind with that understanding, no more the chanting will be mechanical. Don't chant anymore mechanically this verse, because every Sunday we tell the children to chant this just before we finish our prayers here. And so that with that mind, one should go to that prasad area. Take only one piece. Brahman only one per person. No, for me also, my wife also, my children also, my grandfather also, great grandfather. So it is a prasad. So understand that to be a prasad, so that needs to be offered to Brahman. With that attitude of surrender, to live up to that Brahman consciousness. That's the idea. Brahmarpanam brahmahavihi brahmagnau brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. continuing on the same stream of thinking, Sri Krishna here says, let me tell you about the 12 other possible sacrifices that you can engage in. So he begins with the next one, next to two of them. Daivameva pare yajñam yogina paryupasate Brahmatna papare yajñam yajñenaivopajuhvati Daivameva pare yajñam yogina paryupasate Brahmatna pare yajñam yajñenaivopajuhvati. Sometime back, I gave a talk known as www.com. Work, worship, wisdom, dot. If you have all that, you become calm. Now here it is worship versus wisdom. Worship is where you have a pratima or a form which signifies a particular god which you wish to worship or you love as your own personal deity. That form you regard with great attitude of reverence, respect, love, and offer your prayers to that form. That is worship. Upasana it's called. Upasana was also there in the Vedic times, but those times Upasana were not about particular god in form, but they did the Upasana in the form of offering to a fire, as we said before, invoking particular form of God and offering it. And the end result of or end part of Upasana is contemplation. Occupying the mind, thinking about that particular form of God, chanting the particular name of God. Whereas post-Vyasa period, where he had brought in the concept of God worship in the form of physical forms, has changed the course of Hindu thinkers, where the puja concept has also came into being. Offering flowers and fruits and having a particular form and decorating it, feeling the oneness, closeness, because the human can understand and to relate themselves only when that form is closer to their form. So the human forms of gods came into being for worship. So if you take this word Daivam, which is there in this verse, it can be taken in different meanings. Gurudev calls it as that which is illuminating. Div, to illumine. Daivam, illuminating. But here in our present context, we take it in a restrictive sense of Deva means a deity, a god form. Why all our deities are thin and very nice and beautiful, you know? Our deities. Because they are always in diet. Deities. You may give anything you want, but they don't take everything. If all that you give, they take, you will not give any more. You give only one vada there. That's enough for you. The rest of it is for us. Anyway. So, Daivam eva apare, others. So, those who have not come to that level of Brahmic consciousness, even though that is the goal, others will start with their process in the form of offering. Again, the common factor is offering with nothing, expecting nothing in return. If you give to another person, there is, even if you don't want it, in a part of your mind, there is an expectation. It may not be at that time. In another unexpected time, that day, I gave you that. Yeah, it is unavoidable. When to a person you give whom you have seen or you are relating yourself with, you always have a certain, even a fraction of expectation will be there. That's why when you offer to the Pitrus, no expectation, because they can give. Departed souls, what can you expect from them anyway? Pitru yajna, Deva yajna. Therefore, 5 yajnas are prescribed for the householder to perform every day. Deva yajna. First one is Brahma yajna. Brahma yajna is where you are supposed to read the scriptures and share that knowledge with others. Swadhyaya pravachanam. Study and expound that knowledge. Brahma yajna. That is your runa, your commitment to the rishis, the lineage. Then Daiva yajna, offering food and prayers to devatas, your personal deity, family deity. In Hindu culture, there is always this is, I don't know how many of you have family deities, where your grandfather, great-grandfather, everybody has followed a particular tradition, then they have a family deity which you are expected to offer prayers every day. So, that is Daiva yajna. Then Pitru yajna, offering your prayers and salutations to the departed people or the people who are living elder to you. Salutations to them, do namaskar to them, asking for their blessings on a daily basis. Pitru yajna. Then comes Bhuta yajna. Bhuta yajna is where an individual understands other living beings are to be supported in this world, for which you offer food. So you offer food for the crows or the cows and other things to come and eat. But that food should be made fresh, not taken out of the fridge. And they know it. When you take out of the fridge and put it there, they will look at it. You fellows, you are eating this. No freshness at all. At least the rice should be cooked before you eat. Anyway, so the Bhuta yajna is where Bhautika, all that is living around, all the Bhutas who are living around you, they should be supported by you by offering food to them. Then comes Nr yajna, where Atiti Pujanam, where unasked, uninvited guests who come, giving them hospitality, but don't give hospitality in such a way they will be landing in hospital. That's not the point. Hospitality means giving them proper food and then making them feel good. That is called Nriyajna. So these Pancha Yajnas are expected of a householder. Brahma Yajna, study. Deva Yajna, prayers to the deities. Pitru Yajna, respects to the elders. Bhuta Yajna, supporting the other living beings. And Nriyajna, extending your hospitality to people who come to see you. So here, Deva Yajna is offering worship to or doing upasana to your personal favorite deity. Devameva pare yajnam yogina paryupasate upasanam kurute. Upasade, they worship. Upasana. Upasana means sitting next. Sitting closer to the deity. Upa. Samipe asanam. So upasana is where you sit next to the deity and offer your prayers. Like we do today's world. PC upasana. iPad upasana. TV upasana. And your children are doing video game upasana. All the time. And their eyes are like all the time. Because there's no time there they can live without that. So that is upasana. Now you understand what upasana means. Sitting closer and keeping your mind focused. That's what it means. So it's not just sitting next to the God and looking about something else. Sitting closer to the Lord in your mind as well as physically, and keeping your mind focused upon the Lord. And this performing a puja is considered as yajna by apare, others. Daivam upasate. They worship the gods and they consider that as yajna. Daivam eva pare yajnam yogina paryupasate. Now you see, upasana does not mean only worshipping, offering prayers and ritualistic activities, but also any seva you do in the name of God is also called upasana also, only. Until the time Hanumanji met Rama, he was not a sevak. He was just a minister in the court of Sugriva, who was running for his life. And what would be your attitude towards a person who is constantly afraid? I don't know who's going to come. Oh, I'm not. And you feel so frustrated. I am a minister for this fellow who is never happy, never restful, always afraid. And he was so unhappy with this Sugriva, who is running all the time. And finally, when he happened to meet Sri Rama, all that restlessness came to an end. Here is a person who stands, determinedly stands to fight his enemies, and a person who is ready to take up challenges and go ahead with that, giving a confident note of, I will take care of it. You just come with me. And he found the final solace of his soul's search. He became a sevak. Therefore, a sevak should not be a confused, unclear weakling. He must have a determined will and a devoted heart, ready to take up challenges and fulfill it in the name of the Lord, and see what a fate is created once he take up to the Lord's name. Jaladi langige acharajnahi durgamakaj jagat gege. How? He can fulfill greater and greater fates in his life, having taken up the Lord, the name. That is a seva. So here, upasana does not mean only offering a worship to a particular deity, but it is keeping the heart for the Lord and doing everything in His name. Mayyeva mana adatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivasishyasi mayyeva ada urdhvam na samshaya. If you have thus decided to keep your mind in me and intellect in me, thereafter you will live in me. There is no doubt about this. Once the Lord is with you, what challenges you cannot meet. So that is an example, a pure example that is seen in the case of Hanuman. A mere minister of a particular king became a sevak, and not only a sevak, he has become a deity. He has become a person who is worshipped by all. Is it not such a from where to where he leaped. That is called Devopasana. What it cannot give. So that is a yajna, but done with nothing to expect. Daivam eva pare yajnam yoginah paryupasate. Apare yoginah Daivam eva upasade. So Daivam eva pare yajnam Daiva yajnam upasade. That is number one sacrifice in the list of 12. Number 2, Brahmagnau apare yajnam, apare others. Similar to what is said in the previous verse, they engage in actual worship of the Brahman, recognizing that Brahman is the Agni there. Here, they may be doing a ritual, but with the mind to purify. Brahma Agnau Yajnena Upajihvati. Yajnena, with engaging in yajna, physical action of ritual. Upajihvati, they offer, thinking that I am offering this to nobody else, to that Brahman, which includes all, in the form of the fire in front of me. Not any particular deity, but Brahman itself. Brahman includes, so I am doing it for not any particular form of God, for everyone in this world. Like we chant, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Let all of them be happy. So survey, when you say, you are not made any survey. Who are all the people who are going to be benefited out of that? Survey means everyone. Who is this everyone? You, she, he, me. No, everyone includes whom you like, whom you don't like, whom you have seen, whom you have not seen. So in the same way, when one offers into the fire as a physical ritual, his intention is not to gain anything in return or any particular deity in question. Everyone. For all benefit of everyone, I am offering this to the fire of Brahman. So in the thought of Brahman, in that fire of knowledge, offers Yajnena Upajukvati. So the second form of a yajna that is prescribed here by Krishna is Brahma Yajna. First one is Daiva Yajna, second one is Brahma Yajna. So more about this, the Brahma Yajna, I will talk about it in the next session. Right? Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyat Dukkhavat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.